I still remember that night like it was yesterday. A bar in Dusty Ridge, New Mexico, going dead quiet when she walked in, hair all messed up, face swollen like she'd taken a bad fall, one hand cradling her belly like it was the only thing keeping her from falling apart. "Help me," she whispered, voice breaking through the haze of cigarette smoke and jukebox twang. "You're the only ones left who might listen." And there we were, a bunch of roughneck bikers from the Desert Wolves Club, leather jackets scarred from too many miles, turning our heads. Luke Harlan, club president, standing up slow, feeling the room tilt just a bit, because damn, you don't see desperation like that every day, not the kind that walks right into a den of outlaws begging for mercy. Her name was Sarah Jenkins, 6 months pregnant, knees dirty from crawling through the dust, lips split open, eyes wide with that haunted look you get when fear's been your shadow for too long. Turns out, her husband, Victor Hale, the big-shot mining tycoon who owned half the copper digs in the county, had turned their marriage into a nightmare, starting with sweet promises and fancy dinners, the kind where he flashed cash to make her feel special. But it soured quick, the way poison seeps in slow. At first it was control locking doors, smashing her phone when she talked to old friends, saying love meant she didn't need anyone else. But then came the hits, especially after she got pregnant, like the baby was some threat to his empire, and last night he'd snapped, screaming she'd never leave alive, that he'd bury her and the kid in the desert before letting her embarrass him. She tried the cops? Oh yeah, but Victor had them in his pocket. Donations to the sheriff's fund, favors for the judge, the whole rotten web of small-town power where money buys silence, and they just told her to go home, keep him calm, like that ever worked with a man who saw weakness as an invitation to break you further. I looked at her, saw the bruises mapping out his rage, the way her hands shook but still protected that bump, and something in me shifted. Maybe it was the ghost from my own past, those Afghanistan nights where I learned cruelty hides behind duty, or just the code we lived by: no one messes with the innocent, especially not a woman carrying new life. "Sit," I said, pulling out a stool, and Mike Donovan, my right-hand man, slid her a glass of water, his voice gruff but kind. "Who did this, darlin'?" She spilled it all, whispering Victor's name like a curse, and the room murmured because everyone knew him, the guy who'd bulldozed family farms for his mines, paid off locals to look the other way on safety violations, built his fortune on fear and greed, and now this, beating his wife because she dared dream of freedom. "He'll kill me," she said, tears mixing with the blood on her chin, "and the baby too." Mike cursed under his breath, and I leaned in. "Not here, not on our watch. Pack her up. Mike, take her to Lisa's place." Engines roared outside, one by one, as we rolled out, because when the system's rigged for bastards like Victor, sometimes the wolves have to howl back. We got her to the compound on the edge of town, this dusty spread of trailers and bikes under the endless New Mexico sky, harsh and beautiful like a promise you can't quite trust. Lisa, Mike's wife, met us at the door, arms open wide, that tough gentleness of hers wrapping around Sarah like a shield. "You're safe now, honey. No one's touching you here." But safe's a funny word in a place like Dusty Ridge, where the wind carries secrets and Victor's influence stretched like shadows at dusk. Sarah knew it. I knew it, staring out at the horizon while she rested, her hand on her belly, whispering to the kid like apologies for the mess she'd dragged them into. That night, I sat on the porch with a cigar, stars so close you could almost grab him, but my mind was elsewhere, back in the sand overseas, where men justified horror as control, and I thought, hell, some fights follow you home, don't they? Mike joined me, handing over a beer. "You thinking he'll come?" I exhaled smoke. Men like him don't lose what's theirs, they repossess it, and he's got the sheriff, the lawyers, the whole damn town owing him favors from those mine deals, where he squeezed out competitors with bribes and threats, all because his daddy left him nothing but ambition and a chip on his shoulder. Sarah's story unraveled slow over the days, like peeling back layers of Hirsch. Met Victor Young, small-town girl dazzled by his charm, the suits and watches worth more than her pa's ranch, but it turned possessive fast, love twisted into ownership, and when she pushed back, especially pregnant, he'd lash out, blaming her for his stresses, those mining ops going south with union troubles he crushed underfoot. "I tried running once," she told Lisa over tea, voice trembling. to a shelter in Albuquerque. But his guys found me at a gas station, smiled like it was nothing, said boss forgives you. Come home like I was property misplaced. Lisa nodded. Then he picked the wrong pack to mess with. And Sarah managed a weak smile. But fear lingered. You could see it in her flinches at loud boots, the way shadows made her jump. I crouched by her one morning. He made you small to fit his world, but out here, you grow back. And she met my eyes. What if he finds us? I straightened. Then he learns wolves don't scare easy. The whispers started in town, the diner buzzed with it. Folks saying Victor's wife ran to the bikers. Suicide, they called it. But we knew better. Hold up, checking fences, eyes on the highway. Victor, in his hilltop mansion overlooking the mines, got the call, his face twisting cold as he swirled bourbon. Burn their garage if you have to. Make her crawl back. Because to him, Sarah wasn't a person, she was leverage, a pretty face for his public image, hiding the rot of his empire built on exploited workers and rigged bids, all fueled by that deep-seated rage from growing up poor, vowing never to lose control again. Sure enough, the wellness check came, 2 deputies rolling up slow, lights flashing silent. The older one, Deputy Klein, clipboard in hand, smirking at Sarah on the porch. Husband says you're unstable. Ma'am, under duress we gotta verify. She froze, whispering to me, he's Victor's guy, told me last time to go home. Don't make it worse. I stepped forward. No warrant? Then you're trespassing. But Klein drew fast. You bikers think you're above it. The shot cracked harmless into dirt as I slammed his arm aside. Mike tackling the other, dust flew, curses spat, and Sarah screamed. But we sent him packing, tails between legs, though she trembled after. He knows now. That storm night sealed a train hammering like judgment, power flickering, and out in the dark, Victor's SUVs crept close, him in the lead, cigarette glowing as he barked. Get her. Remind these mutts who owns this town. We fought like hell, glass shattering. Boots thudding. One thug grabbed Sarah, hissing, boss wants a word, but I barreled in, slamming him down. Tell Victor he should have stayed buried in his mines. Bullets whined through the downpour, Mike firing back, and there he was, Victor stepping out, gun raised, rain slicking his coat, grinning sharp. You steal what's mine, Harlan? She's my investment, always collect. I shielded her. She stopped being yours the day you broke her. And he fired, grazing my shoulder. But we held, forcing him to retreat, tail lights vanishing into the mud, his shout echoing. This ain't over. We couldn't wait for round 2. Mike and I rode out with Ethan, my cousin from the Nevada chapter, tough as nails, to hit back smart, not just fists. Sarah's pain fueled it. Her whispers of Victor's dirt, offshore cash from skimmed mine profits, bribes to crush rivals, all because his greed stemmed from that boyhood envy, watching others thrive while he scraped by. We met Detective Riley Voss in a Phoenix diner, her eyes sharp. Dalton's got my precinct bought, but give me proof. I'll bury him. We broke into his warehouse under cover of night, power cut, shadows slipping through crates, me hacking the server while guards patrolled, heart pounding as alarms wailed. But we grabbed the files, roaring away on bikes, dust in our wake. The feds moved fast. Victor's world cracked, accounts frozen, sirens wailing as agents swarmed his gates. He barricaded, desperate, dialing ghosts. You medget me out. But no one answered. His scream shattering glass when he saw the photo we slipped him. Sarah on the porch, free, with a note. You destroy what you can't own. At the courthouse, chaos erupted. Bomb threat he planted, slipping cuffs in the panic. Gun raised at Sarah. You should have stayed home. Nothing without me. She stood fierce. No. Victor, nothing because of you. And Riley fired, dropping him cold, rain washing the blood as I clutched my wound, having shoved her aside again. But here's where it gets messy. Justice served. Yeah, but Victor's fall exposed the town's rot. Folks who'd looked away for jobs at his mines, now whispering if we wolves went too far, vigilantes or heroes. Sarah birthed her boy, named him Ethan after the brotherhood that saved him, and as I rode off into the sunrise, pendant wings glinting for the kid. I wondered if mercy like ours breeds more chaos, or if the system's so broken, outlaws are the only fix left hanging in the air. What do you think? Were we right to step in where the law failed? Or does taking justice into your own hands just keep the cycle spinning? Drop a comment below, share your take on power, corruption, or that one-time community ties turn toxic. Hit subscribe if these real-life twists hit home, because Mercy might ride on two wheels, but the road's always got more storms ahead.